In a new AA Ireland survey, Dubs have been voted the worst drivers in the country. Do you agree, disagree? Who do you think's the worst?
I tend to disagree. I'm originally from the country myself, and I've seen worse drivers, I have to say. So considering how busy the roads are, etc., you have to be pretty alert. And I won't see it. I don't think Dublin drivers are that bad.
As a Dublin driver myself, I'd have to disagree. I'm sure my boyfriend would not agree though.
I am from Dublin and I drive, and I would probably have to agree. I have been places where I have seen terrible driving outside of Dublin. It's probably hard to say it's just Dublin people, but I guess there's a lot of cars, there's a lot of traffic in Dublin, so maybe by statistics we're not good drivers, but I know that as a country we're very ill-disciplined in our driving, so I would say they're probably right.
I would definitely agree. I remember hearing about that survey, and I think somewhere like Sligo was good, but then on Sligo and Leitrim I think, but then they've less cars in Sligo and Leitrim. In Dublin, I mean, if you look around here, look at the congestion and stuff around here, so people obviously get frustrated. I used to cycle into town a lot, and I would often say that you take your life in your hands when you're coming in on the bike.
Born and bred Dubliner, I'd like to see us say we're doing better, but there's so many people from outside Dublin coming in that you can't really say it's fair. You know, you have people coming all over the country and people from other countries learning to drive over here. You know, I've seen it a million times. Rules of the road get broken by just about anyone, so it's not just Dubliners in that case.
I think there's bad driving and there's bad roads.
Is there any county in particular that you think that their driving is just terrible?
I haven't been on the road long enough to say that yet, but I'd say there are a few out there in the Midlands that could use a turn up in their driving skills, because when they get up here it's absolutely diabolical.
I'm going to go for Galway.
And what are the bad driving habits that you've noticed and really wind you up?
Certainly skipping lanes would be a huge one, and I see a huge amount of people driving along the M50, roundabouts, like suburban roads, housing estates on their phones. Like actually texting or just not looking at the road. I think it's a terrible habit, and I think it's probably the cause of a lot of accidents.
If you're cycling along and someone just comes up behind you and they won't take an extra 3 seconds to let you kind of move in the side of the road, they push in beside you. It's just, the cost, they don't think of the consequences of them saving 5 seconds on the road. And the consequences for them is nothing. The consequences for you could be a bad accident or you're on the road. And it's the same with cars against cars.